Hello, and welcome back to Paper Traders with me, your co host Eric, and Danny Mack. Today, we are going to have a little bit of a recap of what happened last show on Monday. Our mission statement, as usual, is we are two average Joes trying to make a buck in the market, and we are doing that with a predetermined $5,000 amount. Currently, at this time, we're going to kind of go over some stuff, recap, and then also talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. We're also going to have
Yeah,
Shiraz.
we have an exciting show here. I think just because we had a very big opening show with our EVP Kevin Matris, and he brought a lot of, I guess, bombshells on us with the stock picks that we brought to play. I don't know how you felt about that, but it was a very interesting one. I feel like if you haven't watched that or listened, you definitely got to go back, listen to our first episode, because it's going to be a great prelude to today. We're gonna run through a lot of kind of overlapping stuff to kind of see where we stand today.
It was
But
just so much stuff with Kevin.
yeah,
What?
a lot of stuff with Kevin. Um, he's an intimidating person. He knows a lot, and I feel like
He's very
we definitely
conversational.
learned a lot from him. So
Yeah, he's very talkative and he's very easy to listen to, really. I mean, he didn't really get too far over our heads about just about anything, I don't think. At least we didn't see anything in the comments, which again, we are streaming live on Twitch, Ustream, YouTube, VK, Live EDU, Vaughn Live, CaveTube, Africa TV, YouNow, FC2 Live, and Periscope slash
we are
Twitter.
everywhere.
We are everywhere. And we are also live streaming, so that means that you can get in contact with us. So feel free to text us and through whichever chat you're using, and we will try to get to the comments and questions as we see them.
Yeah, send some questions in. I know we got some on Monday. We didn't unfortunately get to them, but today we will. We have a pre-written response from Kevin about the few stocks that were asked to kind of get reviewed on. So we'll kind of see how that goes. Do you want to touch on that now, or
Yeah, you might as well, go and bring up that email that Kevin had written, and we'll go and read those responses.
Okay, cool. Let's go in here. Let's see. It looks like we're touching on the ticker LSCC. Kevin writes, I don't personally follow LSCC, but it does have a Zacks rank number 1, so that's good. Style scores could be better with a VGM of C, but industry is at the top 27% of Zacks ranked industries, so that's another plus. Wish there was a little bit more movement on estimates over the past 60 days. I know this is registering better on the growth score, which is an A right now, rather than the value, which is currently an F. Just a shame that the PS isn't a little lower, which the PS is price to sales ratio isn't a little lower. It's currently at a 5.6, but hard to argue with the Zacks rank number 1 and a favorable Zacks industry rank. So it sounds like it's a decent stock to look at. Maybe a little bit more of a technical analysis on your end might help you kind of decide if you want to go down that route. Let's see. The other stock we were asked about was NVTA. Again, Kevin said he doesn't personally follow this one, but he says it's a great space, but unremarkable Zacks rank at a 3, which is a hold for us. So that tends to kind of come in where estimates are kind of iffy. Some are up, some are down, and or the earnings are coming up. So it's kind of tends to tell you to hold. Now it has a poor VGM score of a D, and it's at a top 32% of a Zacks rank industry. So that's nice to see, he says. He also says it seems to be a lot of uncertainty by analysts on the direction of this company's estimates, and it looks like they will lose money again. It's just a matter of how much. So he's not a fan of their high price to sales ratio either, which is at a 12.70. Now, there's no denying that the stock has done well over the year, but he would like to see better signs for the future of this company. Their last negative EPS surprise doesn't help either, but they'll get another crack at it when the report comes again on, it looks like August 6th. So watch out for that. Keep an eye out for their earnings ESP as it gets closer to the date. And that was kind of his closing remarks, and sounds pretty good. It sounds like that was a little bit weary. You might want to watch it. So But those were the two ones. So make sure again to get your questions in for us. Those were just the two stocks that we were asked to hit on. So yeah.
Hopefully that answers your question out there.
Yeah, I mean, totally. It sounded like a pretty good response on our end. But if you're listening out there, please send in any other questions that you have. We'll make sure that we can kind of see if we can dive in there for you.
So, also to tease something else, next Wednesday, Shiraz Mian, the director of research here at Zacks Investment Research, is going to be joining us to talk earnings. He is the earnings king and pretty much knows what's going to move, when's going to move, and how far. So that should be a really good conversation with him. He'll be here probably for at least another probably hour, kind of like we did with Matrix, but we'll try to keep it a little bit lower just for people so they don't have to sit here for an hour listening to us go back and forth. But that's the other beautiful thing about us. You can always check us out on one of our platforms and go and pause at any time and come back.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't expect it to go an hour, I don't think, but it was such a good conversation again with Kevin.
Why stop it?
Yeah, I mean, he dropped some bombshells on us newbies over here in the investing world. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a great time to kind of revisit some of our stocks. I know you brought in two of them. I think one was MJ and
Two,
Yep, there you go. So what do you think about those?
I feel like Kevin kind of pretty much blew me out of the water on those. MJ, I'm probably going to wait for a little bit more of a dip before I add it to my portfolio. T2 was pretty much a shot in the dark. I think you have to really time that one when they're going to announce a new game or a new piece of media coming out, just because unless they have something happening, it doesn't seem like they're really going to move that much.
Yeah, and their last one was Red Dead Redemption, which
last year.
I don't think they're going to do anything huge anytime soon. I know they're coming out with it on the computer, but
well,
how
yeah,
big
it'll
of
be
a
coming to
release will
PC
that be?
soon. It should be coming to PC really soon, in fact. But I think the most people that are Rockstar fans are waiting for is probably the next revision of not Red Dead, but
GTA.
GTA,
There we
Grand Theft
go.
Auto. Number 5 has been around for a while, and they usually release them every like 5 or 6 years. So
Yeah, I'm
it's
excited.
coming up on that about time. But I feel like it's still a little too high to buy now, to pray for a year or two that it's going to jump on whenever that release is.
Right. Yeah, I kind of felt the same way with my stocks. I brought to the table ELY, which is Callaway. Um, he said it was a decent buy, but he saw that in the future it looked like there was some plateauing and possible negative sales. So it wasn't something that I was too fond on. So I kind of am fraying away from that one. Now, I did look a little bit further into SQ. I'm actually pretty interested in adding that, and I might do it today. We might add a small allocation. I'm not thinking a big one. It is a little bit of a growth stock, so it has that risk. So yeah, I'm gonna revisit it, and we'll see kind of by the end of the day. I will say this: I will be adding something to today's portfolio, so stick around and make sure you see what we add. So it's gonna be a good one. But
I'm looking at the chat here, and I'm not seeing anything yet. So please remember that we are streaming live, and you can put your comments in, and we will get to your questions as they come in.
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, Danny, you and I had a conversation before we came in today about how we should kind of be held accountable for some of the stocks that we bring in. Yesterday or Mondays being MJ, T2, ELY, and Square. So since the whole idea here is to go and help people learn the tools here at Zacks, you had said, well, why don't we go and create a watch list with these stocks? So
Yeah.
I think this would be a good time for you to demonstrate how to start your paper trader watch list. And starting with the stocks that we started with yesterday, I think we'd be able to then see, whether or not they would have gone up or down based on our choices of that day.
Yeah, so pretty simple, I think. You just want to go to the Zacks homepage here.
Make sure you've signed up already too. That's the first part.
Yep, big part. Make sure you sign up. There's a free trial out there. You can also sign up for our Zacks Premium package there. So let me here and go to the Zacks website, and we will kind of go through where you can find their portfolio. It's at the top here at the far right. You're going to go and you're going to want to click on Create Portfolio.
why don't you drop 3 of those into there, and then you could show them how, while they're just randomly going through stocks, how
Oh,
they can find the fourth and also add it.
and see, we're not signed in either. So we need to sign in. And don't forget, you can do the keep me signed in. So there you go. It's a great, easy feature. You never have to remember your password. Kidding, kidding. Make sure you always write it down somewhere. So here,
otherwise you're gonna have to go through that long,
yeah, nobody
long
wants to reset.
process of resetting your password, which we all love so much.
So here we got the new portfolio name. We're gonna call it. We'll call it Paper Traders Watch List.
And like I said, why don't you drop the 3 in there, and then we'll take a fourth to show them how they can do it when they're actually looking at the stock page.
Okay, so we'll add in the MJ. We had SQ for Square and ELY. Did you want to put in the TTWO?
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah, we can add it in there. Here,
Oh, well, I mean, if you had all 4 right now, then we don't have one to show how you can go from the stock page.
exactly. Okay.
So drop 3 in. We'll show them from
Perfect.
the stock page how to get the fourth in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Because that's just the 2 different ways you can do it. Because you can do it right from the portfolio page if you want,
So
which is convenient if you know exactly which stocks you want to keep an eye on. But the other way to do it is to go directly from the quote page. And Danny, I'll show you how to do that.
right. So here you go. As you see, I just typed in the tickers with a comma in between each one, and boom, create portfolio. We now have 3 stocks that we've currently kind of been interested in. We might take a look at them later in the future, but they just aren't kind of right for us at the moment. But you never know. Things always change in the stock market, so it's something to watch out for. So here you go. We have our stock symbols here. You can kind of sort them through company name, symbol, price, the industry rank, that type of thing. Now, like Eric said, if you wanted to go ahead and add it from the actual quote page, say you're actually, doing some research today on Zacks.com, you type in the ticker at the top right search bar, and then you see it comes up. Go ahead and click on it, which will bring you to the actual quote page, and it's very, very simple. It says add to portfolio. You want to go ahead and click that button, and boom, it says create new portfolio or add to a current one. So we're going to go ahead and click add to our current Paper Traders watch list. Yes, that's what we want to do, and we want to go ahead and add.
And it's that easy, folks. And you can keep track of your stocks. You can see what would have happened if you would have bought them at that time, whether it went up or down. We're going to use that as a tool to show you, had we bought the stock that we were talking about that day, whether or not we would have won or not. And we'll either feel really sad that we didn't add it to our portfolio, or we'll be really happy because it went down and we saved ourselves a little bit of trouble.
So there you go. Yep, it's added onto the portfolio there. You see it's perfectly intact. So we have a few stocks here we'll keep an eye on. We might actually add them. But today we kind of want to dive into a few of the things Matris hit on. I know he showed us a few, I guess, tools that Zacks had, because we brought in a few stocks that we seem to be interested in, kind of without looking too far into the technical analysis and stuff. We are the newbies. We are still learning, so bear with us. But
2 average Joes.
Average Joes, correct. So we wanted to kind of use the tool that was shown to us, which was the Zacks rank number 1. That list was really cool, and I thought it was a great way to kind of dive through all of the stocks that are covered in the Zacks realm. I think that's about 4,000, so it's a lot to kind of handle and to pick up on. So again, we're going to go back to the Zacks website to kind of dive into where this stuff is located. So at the top left, it's stocks here, and then you'll see the Zacks rank number 1, which we'll just click on here. And this is pretty much where today we're going to kind of look at and dive into, because we want to see the top ranked stocks that Zacks is saying is going to best give us our potential to get profit. So
best chance to beat the market.
There you go. And as we kind of look through the list, I don't see.
Well, what did you sort by?
Right now we're sorting by full number 1 list.
Well,
and that's giving us all the number 1s, and it looks like a VGM score overall of an A. So it's kind of sorting.
So you're sorting by VGM?
Yes, correct. So it's all Zacks rank number 1, sorted by VGM scores. So you're looking at top VGM scores, which is value, growth, momentum, combined, and average.
Oof, I just saw Amazon in there.
Oh gosh.
What do you think it is at right now as we speak?
I don't know. I'm trying to scroll through and see if I can find it.
$2,009.90 a share.
I don't know that it'll work for our portfolio.
Oof. Definitely not going to work for us.
Yeah, and just scrolling through this is like I don't really know too many of these names. I don't know about you. Do you? I see
don't know. I just
Casey's
seeing some
General
weird stuff fall in here. Like I got Jaguar Animal Health. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right, right.
Like,
So it's a
let's-
little
I'm
intimidating.
gonna
I
take
gotta
a
say.
look here. I'm gonna click on the actual symbol and
I
let's see
see-
if it gives me a little more information about the stock.
Yeah, I see Sunoco, which obviously is an oil and gas producer. I think they're the number one for NASCAR provider. So I know them. Delta Airlines. We know that Warren Buffett is big in the airlines recently. Everybody hears about that. So maybe that might be a decent one to look at. I don't know. Maybe
Well, where does it go by industry? While you're sorting that way, let me look at the industry and the sector rank.
okay. Well,
Let's see where that one falls in. And you could actually get, again, another way to look at it. If you just clicked on the symbol there, it'll take you to its quote page and it'll show you where it sits in its rank.
Yeah, and talking to Kevin and seeing all these at the top, it says value, growth, momentum. So did you, after talking to him, get a sense of what type of trader you might end up type of being? Because he says it almost feels like you're going to feel it out yourself and kind of get
I feel like I'm all over the board.
yeah.
I'm one of those people that reads a lot of news. I read easily probably 3 or 4 newspapers a day.
Oh,
probably
really?
In total content. I mean, I'm a newsaholic.
Okay.
So when it comes to things that are happening in the news and everything, I feel like, especially like, well, I guess later on we can touch on some of the things that I do that way. But yeah, I have really no idea. I feel like I'm gonna be all over the board because certain things come up and I'm like, oh, I know about that. Let me get in. Or I hear about a medical breakthrough. Like today, my stock will be a medical stock because there's a medical breakthrough that I just think is going to change the world.
Right.
So yeah, I try to stay in the know as much as I can. I feel like, so for me, it's going to be tough to try to fall into a value stock or say even a growth stock without being like, ooh, I'm probably missing out on some growth somewhere.
Right. Probably going to have something like a little bit all over the board. You're going to have a little value, a little momentum, a little growth.
I'll have a bunch of stocks that just sit there for a while and hang out.
Yeah, I felt after just doing a little bit of back end and kind of listening to Kevin, it made me kind of realize I probably will be a little bit more, I would say, aggressive in this market just because the way things are going lately. I see a lot of momentum and growth still continuing.
Things are just moving.
Yeah,
they just keep moving.
Yeah, I don't see value really. I don't know, giving me much benefit in the stock market right now. Now I might be proven wrong at some point if we, get a value investor on here to show me different.
No, I'm sure we will at one point or another. Tracy Reineck will probably come in here and teach us a few things.
There you go. Yeah, that's very true. Tracy Reineck, our value investor here at the office. But going through that and kind of thinking. I started to do a little bit more diving in instead of just the full list of number ones. I started to look more towards the momentum and growth to kind of focus in more on a single stock. So after doing that, I clicked on momentum. I thought, hey, I want to get a stock that has some good movement in its stock price.
Delta's the first one at the top of that list.
Is it really?
Yeah, I just sorted the number 1 stocks by momentum score, and the first one that came up was Delta Airlines.
Really?
With a value score A, growth score A, momentum score of A, total VGAM score of A.
Well, let's take a look at yours because I'm looking at the stocks number ones in the momentum screener, and I got FSUGY, which I am not familiar with. Looks like.
Oh, you went through the screener?
Yeah, no. So top left, and then you click on that. Yep, Zacks rank number ones.
I'm doing the same.
And then you click on the momentum at the.
Oh, you use the momentum tab.
Yep,
See,
yep.
I just took the number 1 stocks and filtered by momentum score.
Okay.
So I was looking for the ones that had the most momentum based on their score, and the first one that came up was Delta.
Yeah, I think these are a little bit more in-depth screeners. They have a little bit more things that they're kind of filtering through. So what I was looking at here, I went into momentum and kind of was scrolling through wanting to find a stock that I was a little bit familiar with, kind of the idea of what Warren Buffett always says, buy what you know. And as I scrolled down and I scrolled down, you didn't see anything, but I finally found Under Armour, which
Oh,
we'll find
jeez.
here in a second. But I really thought that it was kind of in left field. Here we go, Under Armour.
What's the ticker on that one?
UAA. So when I found it again, it's a Zacks rank number 1. It's got that momentum of a B. So it's not the greatest, it's not the worst, but in my opinion, retail is making a little bit of a comeback. So it makes me kind of interested, and it's at its 52-week high. And let's see here. If we go
I'm going to look at the price and consensus here, see what's going on.
Yeah, you look up the price consensus. I'm going to go to the earnings estimates right here, detailed earnings estimates, because I want to see how many people are watching this stock.
Oof.
And it looks like, before I even go to the estimate revisions, I'm just seeing that its profits are going up. We see it's negative here, negative 6 cents, negative 7 cents, but then it's going to a positive 31 cents, 43 cents, 65 cents for next year. So as an investor, the stock looks pretty good in my opinion. And, it's kind of fraying
What are
away
the
from...
analysts saying?
The analysts are all giving it a positive revisions for next quarter, current year, and next year.
Yeah,
So
I'm looking at the price and consensus chart, and I was just wondering what the numbers were, because the price and consensus chart, 2021, it's got it pretty freaking high up there, up at like 45 potentially.
it looks nice, doesn't it?
2020, it looks like there was a little jump up, but it looks like it's kind of going to slow down here.
Right. But
I don't know. I guess it really kind of depends who Under Armour's got their contracts with. I think, who is it? Reebok? Isn't Reebok with the NFL now?
no.
Was it Nike? I don't even know. It's so hard to keep track of those.
Nike and Adidas are the big ones. But you know what? They have The Rock Johnson, in my opinion. I follow him on Instagram.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, I am a social media guy, so I do follow him on social media, and he is always bragging about how well his products are doing with Under Armour. And you know what?
Which products are these? I'm going to have to look this up.
His headphones recently. He's got his own workout shoes and workout clothing brand, I believe.
Oh,
with
okay.
Under
So
Armour.
all through Under Armour?
All through Under Armour. But
Yeah.
they do very well with these niche kind of releases. So I think they might be finding their way in the market, because Nike kind of does the same thing. They find their athletes and they kind of brand stuff off of them.
Uh-oh.
I
might have got a little news here on your Dwayne The Rock Johnson project.
What are you seeing? Let's take a look.
The thing that I just pulled up, it said that it got dropped.
No way.
Yeah, I don't even see where that is here, but at least
You're on the website there.
Yeah,
So.
but even here under Google it says new collection dropped. Oh, dropped.
That's what it's
probably
called.
came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get for being old. I'm looking at headlines thinking it's actually gone, but no. Yeah, see, I don't know if I can. That's just advertising to me, man.
Yeah, no.
When Dwayne's like, oh yeah, check out these awesome products. Don't forget to buy my Dwayne The Rock Johnson shoes.
Right. But it's something that I can relate to, and it's something I can back and
depends
believe
on
in.
how many people does he have following? Because that's really a big thing.
Millions. Here,
Millions.
let me.
Yeah, why don't you pull up his Twitter real quick or something.
Yeah, it'll take me a second here, but we'll pull it up, and I'm sure the man has got multi-millions.
I mean, that's how the world really is now. You get these influencers, as they're called, that really can push a product pretty much as far as they want it to go, depending on how many people are following them, really.
There we go. The Rock. 150 million people.
Imagine how much it would cost you as an advertiser to reach 150 million people.
Individually. And these are people who are willing to follow him and buy stuff from him.
I'm even going beyond individually. If you had to buy, like, say, television time or, ad space on a website, this guy has a direct injection to 150 million people's phones every day.
I mean, just to go back and think of, like, what Kylie Jenner has done with her social media and her branding and her products. She's a multi-billion-dollar business now.
Yeah, she was the first billionaire.
And she's from social media. So it's something that it kind of blows my mind. And when I see those things like, The Rock doing for Under Armour and seeing that kind of momentum for the stock made me a little excited. And again, I'm going off the number 1 ranked list. So, I have this good positive feeling, and I'm thinking I'm going to be adding this as my first stock to the portfolio. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I don't know about you, but
no, those earnings estimate revisions got me a little worried. That downward line there.
All right. Well, I believe that it's going to do well in the next coming years. and even the next coming months. So I think we might
So you
take.
take it as a long-term play?
I don't know. I'm looking right now, and it actually says that its earnings are coming up.
And when is it?
Let's
I'm gonna go to the
see.
Snapchat real quick here with you, so I can follow along. Because I don't know. Those aren't that chart was not instilling much for me. But if it's at a really low,
Let's see here.
yeah, that's not what I'm looking
Quote
for.
overview. Bear with us, people. We got to scroll through a lot of information here for you. Looks like it's actually on the 25th, so just in a couple days.
Oh man.
Yeah. Is that a thing that you want to do? Oh man, Kevin said that is something that you might want to reevaluate when a company actually earnings come out. So
Well, I guess it really comes down to, like Kevin has also said, is what was the latest analyst and one of the latest analysts in the last 30 days say. If it went up in the last 30 days, it wouldn't be such a bad bet. But if
Yeah.
it was revised down in the last 30 days, that wouldn't be a good thing.
No, it hasn't been revised down. It all has positive revisions going upwards. And you kind of saw on that EPS chart that even in 2020, the chart keeps going up. I mean, there's room to grow there. So, you said you had a stock that you had brought. Maybe we'll take a look at that, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll even add that. I don't know.
I kind of wanted to talk about CRISPR, which is another one of those, pretty much tech stocks that it's a medical stock, but I look at it as a tech stock because you're getting this blending of those two worlds now, like literally you're getting these companies that are dealing like CRISPR with computers being able to genetically change people's code. Like,
Yeah,
get out of here. It sounds like science fiction.
it is science fiction.
But,
It's
I mean,
scary. It's sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, you
see
just
on
had
the,
that Chinese doctor that went and made he genetically edited the babies so they'd be AIDS resistant.
what?
Now this is like, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago.
So this is
now.
where your whole, I guess, newspaper reading comes into
Oh,
play,
yeah.
because that went over my head.
Yeah,
completely.
there was a Chinese doctor who went against the ethics code of doctors, and because all the doctors have basically said, no, you shouldn't be doing this type of stuff yet. We don't know how damaging it could be.
Of course,
You
yeah.
know? Well, he kind of said, go off yourselves. I'm going to do it anyway.
Wow.
And he went and edited, I think it was 4 babies, and made them
Jeez.
AIDS resistant, and they're out in the world now. Like, that's a real thing. Like, he just let Pandora straight out the box.
Wow.
So there was something else. I can't remember exactly the story because the breaking story was that those kids. But there was a recent story recently where they were able to cure a disease using CRISPR by changing the genetic code. I mean, Kevin Cook is really the guy who turned me on to this. He's the guy that runs Healthcare Innovators,
All right.
which is one of the services here at Zacks. Crazy cool stock, and just seems to be limitless in what the possibilities are in terms of curing and just pretty much obliterating genetic diseases. I mean, the ability to go and change somebody's genetic code, that's just so amazing to me. And that's, again, where my reading comes from. I love to read. So my stock to look at was CRISPR, and only because it's just so crazy. And if you look at my screen, you can see it's a terrible choice.
Yeah, it's
It's
got all the F's
straight
across
F's
the board on the
across the
style scores
board.
there.
Yeah. I mean, the charts all over the place. If I go to the price and consensus chart, I mean, it's not looking like a good stock. But for me,
Holy, it's all
yeah,
over
look
the
at that.
place
All
there.
these misses, and but here's
And
the
you
thing.
were shooting down Under Armour, mister.
I know. Well, I mean, I got to give you my gut feeling,
All
right?
right,
And
yeah, no,
my gut feeling for this one, especially because of the fact that the technology is just barely being scratched. I feel like this would, for me, be a long hold. It's come up just a little bit here at the very end of the month, but I am personally feeling that this stock down the line, this will probably be a long-term hold for me. I'm probably not going to buy it today just because of the fact that it has come up a little bit, but I am going to wait until it comes down. Maybe, where are we at today? Today we're at 49.20. I would say somewhere around probably $35. I would probably definitely be in at 35. I'd probably be still in probably at 40.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add this one to our list because I think that this is going to be something down the line that's really going to be changing in the world that we live in.
Yeah, and I kind of forgot myself that adding Under Armour would be a good idea, because sitting here thinking about it and adding something to my portfolio, especially for the first stock to the portfolio.
Yeah, it seems like such a big thing to choose your first
It is a
stock.
big deal. And I feel it is. And the earnings coming up on the 25th, it's very soon. Very, very soon. So I feel like we can revisit this stock.
Just wait a little bit.
Just wait a little. We're not going to lose out on much, and we can still get in. But
when you add it to the list, we will be able to see exactly how much
Right,
we lose out on
right.
potentially. That's the cool part about keeping our list. As I said at the top, we'll be able to see just how high or low it goes after we would have gotten in.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show you guys one more time adding Under Armour to our portfolio for Paper Traders watch list. So now we have 6 in there. I'm feeling pretty confident so far that we're adding a good list to start to find that
watch,
good,
to keep our eye on for sure.
Yeah, to find that good stock that is going to be. I don't want to call it the winner, but I want to call it a good decision. You don't want to make a bad decision for your first one. I feel like that's just me. It's my personal opinion, but I'm feeling like I'm getting closer.
I mean, I'm looking at our list, and I'll be honest with you, it doesn't look like it's a bad list. We have 1s and 2s and 1 NA only because it's an ETF, So ETFs, little less information available, but I mean, man, we're not looking bad, really. We've got some really good stocks in here. I think probably by next show, by Monday, I will probably be ready to pull the trigger on at least one.
Yeah, and I feel like I completely snaked our audience here because I said I was going to add one, and I was pretty confident I was going to add Under Armour.
Psych!
Yeah, I did not see the earnings estimates being released on the 25th, so that I feel is a big deal.
So you don't want to gamble it there, Danny? You don't want to take the chance yet?
I'm not a trader per se right now. We're going to take everything step by step and see kind of how everything goes. I still am in a learning.
Again, this is the whole idea of our show. We're trying to show people that you don't have to just jump, what is it? Straight head first in. You can test the water a little bit, and this is a great way to do that.
Right. So we've added these stocks to our watch list. I feel like we're on a good level playing field here. I want to say, and I want to challenge you here, Eric, because I want to put this out. I feel like we should, no matter what, on Monday,
both have to pull the trigger on at least one.
We gotta pull a trigger. We gotta find something that we both are confident in. We have a good starting point, and I feel like we can definitely do that by Monday.
With earnings and everything, with Shiraz, he's gonna just drop some more knowledge on us.
Yeah,
so, it could all change so quickly.
Yeah, don't forget Shiraz is going to be on our show
next
Wednesday.
I can't remember the date, but you got the date there, Danny? You got
let me look
a small calendar?
No, I don't.
Yeah, what is this?
Here, I can look it up on my phone.
Yeah, I know my phone would be faster, right?
Duh.
Here we go. I got it on the computer. It'll be the 24th.
So everybody tune in. 24th.
Shiraz Mian, live here. Director of Research at Zacks Investment. All right. Well, I feel kind of crummy that I didn't pull the trigger on mine. Like I said, I've been watching this stock. I think currently it's up, but maybe next week. Next week it'll come down just a little bit for me to throw into my list.
Right. Because for all I know, Shiraz might come in and be like, Danny, you should buy.
Why didn't you buy it?
You should buy Under Armour before the earnings are going to do great.
Right.
So maybe I'm being too hesitant. We'll find out, because honestly, I feel like I'm going to be told one way or the other if I made the right decision today on holding back on buying it. But we'll see. Again, just because this is paper trading doesn't mean you want to make the mistakes. So I know we don't have real risk on the table, but we do want to do well here. We do want to make things go well. So everybody, make sure to go on Apple iTunes, Spotify. What else are we on? We're on YouTube.
Zacks.com/YouTube if you want to recap today's or Monday's episode.
Yeah. So please check it out. We're also going to be pitching here our Zacks Ultimate. Please go check out all of our trading services we offer here at Zacks. You can go to our website here. I'm going to show you really quickly
How to get to it.
Yeah, there's so many of them.
That beautiful orange button.
That big old orange button at the top right next to the quote search button. You can see all of these investor services, trading services. Please go check them out.
Zacks Ultimate, just to mention, is the all-encompassing one. It gets you access to every single service that Zacks offers.
Yep. So go check it out. Thank you for tuning in today. Please remember to send in any questions, any concerns, any topics you want us to cover. I mean, please help us out. Yeah, I mean,
subscribe, send a comment.
do it all.
We're here.
Social media it up. Send it to all your friends. Get involved with our show. Thank you again for joining us, and we will see you on Monday next week.